Good morning dear students, welcome back to English class. Today in this class I am going to help you to learn the lesson Consumerist Culture written by Cheryan Alexander. Have you heard about Cheryan Alexander? He is an assistant professor in English and he studied in Bangalore. Then he has written a lot of articles widely on the themes of literature, culture and ecology. Here we have an essay. Its title is Consumerist Culture. What's the meaning of consumerism? Consumerism means that we have to buying things. Okay, in our days, in our life, we are going to buy a lot of things. Without these things, we cannot live. So we will go to buy daily. We will go to the shops and we will buy the things. Okay. So here we can see what is the culture of consumers. That means those who are going to buy things. Really, this article is related with our life. Whatever we are doing in our life, the writer wants to express more and we have to think about this, what we are doing, how we are wasting our money and how much are we giving importance for this consumerism. That and all we can see in this lesson. Author's name is Cheryan Alexander. Here the writer asks few questions first. Okay, if you are feeling thirsty, to quench our thirst, which one will you prefer? Tender coconut or Pepsi or Coca-Cola? So most of you will prefer Pepsi. Okay. One more question the writer is asking. Do you want to work in India or America? Suddenly we will tell what America. Okay. Then, and he is giving one experience. One day he had gone to one shopping mall. There he had seen one title, one board. Okay, what is that? Shop till you drop. Okay, shop till you drop. Shop till you drop. The writer started to think about this caption. Shop. That in shopping mall, for what purpose we are going? We will go for shop. Okay, we have to purchase something. There we had seen this title. Shop till you drop. That's the money. You can purchase anything till your money has been over. Or till you get tired, you can purchase. You can do your shopping here. So here he is thinking about, okay, what is the meaning of this? Nowadays people are spending their money and time for this shopping even if they wanted or not. Sometimes if we are checking our cupboard, dress cupboard, okay, wardrobes if we are checking, when we are opening the cupboard and what we can see, all the dresses will come outside. That means there is no space to keep our dresses, right? Okay, that means if we need or not also we will go and we are ready to purchase all these things. Here these shoppers, they are supporting, they are encouraging the people to buy all these things through advertisement. When we are watching this TV, we will see some cosmetics items, okay, shampoo or some creams, okay, moisturizing creams, or we will see, okay, this shop and nice dresses will be there. So, if a new fashion dress, if we have seen, what we will do? Okay, we will think, I also should get like that, right? As a result, if we are not need that one also, that time also, we will go and purchase all these things. Okay, so that's the meaning of this one. Shop till you drop. So, till your money is getting over, you can purchase from our shop. Or till you get your tired, you should purchase. and there is no need to think whether we want it or not. And he became wondered about this caption. So he decided to write about what our ancestors believe. So when we are asking our parents or grandparents, they will tell in their small childhood only two dresses. Okay, they will tell always no chappals and only two dresses. If that after used one, what they should do, they have to wash and they have to dry it and for the next day. Nowadays it is not like that. Okay, after one day, one dress wearing, we will put everything in the washing machine and daily 1 week or 2 weeks we will have dresses. Okay, after that only we will think about to wash that what we used there, right? Okay, yes. But here, if we are asking our ancestors what they were using to quench their thirst, that means if they are feeling thirsty, what they were drinking, they will tell, they were using this tender coconuts and all. That time they did not think about the colored drinks what is available nowadays on the shops. They did not think about this Pepsi or Coca-Cola. It will be available in the plastic bottles. That time they were using these earthen pots and all. And here ancestors, they hardly believe in future it will come like this. Okay, but nowadays they witnessed all these things are available. So that is a successful story of this Pepsi and Coca-Cola. That means in every nook and corner of the places that our country or the villages, which soft drinks are available, this Pepsi and Coca-Cola. That's a success story. Actually, elders or our ancestors, they were not using all these things, but now the people are using to quench their thirst these Pepsi and Coca-Cola. And what is the success story? It is available in all the places, not only in the towns, in villages also. Okay, so these 2 points you have to learn. What ancestors hardly believe and what is the successful story of Pepsi and Coca-Cola. In the same way, this burger, fast food, nowadays fast food is available in every shops. Okay, so students or children, they are having more interest or they having more interest to having this burger, fast food than this idli or dosha what we are eating at home. Okay, yes. So like Pepsi and Coca-Cola, cigarettes are available, this hamburgers are available, okay, fast food is available. So they also succeeded in this same. And how they have become more successful in the selling of these Pepsi and Coca-Cola, nowadays they are the giant multinational companies. Okay, how they became successful like this? Okay, can you see how they became successful in this one? Because of advertisement. Okay, because of advertisement. Here the writer is telling about advertisement, machinery of persuasion. Machinery of persuasion. Machinery of persuasion means advertisement. So already I have told you, when we are watching television, we will see, okay, if we are watching one film, more than that film, what will be there? Advertisements will be there. If you are watching news, advertisement will be there. Okay, for each and every section, if you are watching one news, relating with that, a lot of advertisement will come. As a result, what the people will do? They will go and purchase. Okay, they won't think about whether it is good or buy all these things. In that culture, this advertisement has an important role. And he is telling one example. In America, in USA, people half of their leisure time they will watch TV. Next half, where they will spend? Can you say? Okay. First half they will spend leisure time. First half they will spend in front of television. Next half, where will they go? They will go to shopping malls. Okay. So, as a result, what will happen? Shopping has become more than a need. It's very important. Shopping has become more than a need. That means we are not thinking, if it is already at a home, we won't think about whether we need or not. We will go and purchase. Okay. A lot of dress we will have. And we will buy costly dresses, and one or the other time or one or the other functions we will use it, and after that what we will do? We will keep all these things in the cupboard. Again we won't use it. And next fashion dress it comes, what we will do? We will go and purchase again. So the writer is telling shopping has become more than a need. Okay students, so let's go to the reading session. Okay, from beginning. Tender coconut water or Pepsi or Coca-Cola. Which one will you prefer? So immediately you will say the answer, same Coca-Cola. Bhelpuri or burger, working in India or in America, chapatis with Indian veggie dish or pizza. Okay, so we will prefer always this fast food. We have no time to make these chapatis or vegetable dishes, and we always go to the shops or hotels or restaurants and we will have this food. 2 months ago, I came across an advertisement put out by a posh shopping mall. Posh means very rich, or costly, or a bargaining shoppers. In a band at the top of ad were the words "shop till you drop." Students, you have to underline this term, "shop till you drop." I couldn't help noticing what an apt and ironic. Apt means what? Okay, suitable. So while he was reading this, he felt it, whether it is apt or whether it is ironic. Ironic means opposite reaction, or whether it is suitable. So he thought this is apt for whom? Only for the sellers, only for the shoppers. They are encouraging the people to buy all these things and they will get profit. And this is ironic for the consumers. That means those who are going to buy all these things. What will happen? We are not thinking about whether we need it or not. So it is very ironic for the consumers, but it is apt for this shoppers. Shoppers. And the media-driven mania of mindless consumption. That point also very important. It is leading. These advertisements are leading the people for mindless consumption. Blindly, people will go and purchase the things. Okay, mindless consumption. So while he was reading this one, he felt it, whether it is apt or ironic, and he thought this media advertisements, it is leading the people for the mindless consumption. Okay, yes. Then dawning age of globalized 21st century. So the second paragraph is very important. The make-believe merchants. Merchants means who? The shoppers, those who are selling the things. Never before in human history have people all over the world bought and consumed such a bewilderingly diverse array of things on such a vast scale. And the surprising thing is that most of the merchandise is absolutely unessential to human health and happiness. Just 100 years ago, our ancestors would have found it hard to believe that artificially colored, flavored, and sweetened water would be sold in billions of plastic bottles and aluminum cans as a thirst quenching drink. Imagine their shock if they had been told that this drink has absolutely no nutritive value but rather has a damaging effect on the digestive system and the bones. And yet, Pepsi and Coca-Cola are sold even in the remotest nook and corner of the world today. These sellers of colored, sweetened water are giant multinational corporations with revenues measured in billions of dollars, bigger than a combined GNP. GNP means gross national product. Okay, gross national product. GNP of nearly a score of the world's poorest countries. There are parallel success stories that can be told of the purveyors of cigarettes and liquor, hamburgers and fried chicken, cosmetics and fashion wear, a seemingly never-ending list. So in the first paragraph, students, you can see the merchandise is absolutely unessential to human health and happiness. Nowadays, whatever food items are available in the shops and in the hotels or in the restaurants, in bakeries, definitely it is not good for the human health. That's why the writer tells here, ancestors hardly believed these colored drinks like Pepsi and Coca-Cola will be available in the shops. They did not believe. For their shock, one more point, it has no nutritive value and it is making problems for our digestive system. Then why we are purchasing? We know, okay, in many advertising, many videos we are watching. For what purpose we are using this Pepsi and Coca-Cola? You also have watched already, I think. Okay, we know it is not useful for it. Okay, and but we are ready to buy all these things. That's why the writer is telling mindless consumption. We are not thinking whatever we are doing, what we are going to do, or what we had done. We are not thinking. What we are going to purchase, we are not thinking. And we are blindly purchasing. Mindless consumption. It has no nutritive value. It is making problems for the digestive system. But we will go and buy. It is the success story of this Pepsi and Coca-Cola. What is the success story? It is available everywhere. Clear, students? At the same time, they became giant multinational companies and it is available every nook and corner of the places, and like that other purveyors of cigarettes, hamburgers, liquor, everyone is succeeding, okay, in their sale. Then, so what it is forcing us to go for this mindless consumption that I have told you? It is advertisement. Okay, advertisement. Okay, students, it is advertisement. In third paragraph, you can see it is advertisement. Advertisement make the people to go for this mindless consumption. Equally unprecedented in the world's history is the size of the machinery of persuasion, TV, that has been set up in order to generate demand for this profusion of consumption. demand for this consumerism? This advertisement. Okay? Yes. And without a doubt, global advertising today is the biggest and most sophisticated thought control project ever undertaken. It is the thought control project. What is the meaning of thought control project? Thought control project. Okay. Whenever we are watching this TV, when you are watching this advertisement, it will make us to think, go for this purchase. So, this advertisement became a thought control project. It is the biggest thought control project. Some statistics reveal the true extent of this phenomenon. Global advertising expenditures, according to Benjamin Barber, rose sevenfold from 1950 to 1990, from a modest $39 billion to $256 billion. Barber adds that per capita global spending went up from $15 in 1950 to nearly $50 in 1996. One single company, the hamburger giant McDonald's, spends more than $1.4 billion each year on advertising. All these figures are huge indeed and getting bigger all the time. Some statistics is given there, you have to read it. That years and that amount also you have to learn. Then what is the meaning of this? These giant multinational companies of different products, they are ready to spend money for this advertisement. So the TV channels, what they will do? They will be ready to show these advertisements because they are getting money. Giant multinational companies, they are ready to spend their money for this. So they are ready to show this advertisement. And we people became mindless conceptions. Okay? Yes. Now we are going to the fourth paragraph. It is obvious then that unimaginably vast amounts of money and enormous resources are being spent worldwide in an all-out effort to persuade people to become buying machines incapable of figuring out how much of all that stuff they really need. Shopping has become a more than a need. For increasing numbers of people today, it has become the chief form of entertainment, an obsessive compulsion they have little control over and very often an end in itself. In a recent survey conducted in the United States, it was discovered that most Americans spend roughly half their leisure time watching television and the other half, no marks for guessing, at the shopping malls, of course. The connection between the two activities is self-evident. Television commercials provide the theory which can then be acted upon the shopping malls. So in the fourth paragraph also, the writer tells about this advertisement. The first point, these buying machines, we have become buying machines. Who have become? We people, okay, blind people. We have become buying machines and we don't know for what we are purchasing and for what we are doing it, what is the need of this one, we are not thinking. We became buying machines. We have money, we will go shop and we will buy it. Only that procedure. We are not thinking about all these things. So, shopping has become more than a need and it has become the chief form of entertainment. What has become the chief form of entertainment? This shopping. Shopping has become the chief form of entertainment. That means whenever we are having, we will go shopping malls. Or simply we will tell no, Just we can go and visit a shopping mall. New Year, Christmas celebration or any other functions. We will call our friends and we are ready to go to shopping malls. And we, sometimes if it is not needed also, we are ready to buy all these things. Okay, yes. So one example he is telling here, Americans, their leisure time, half of their leisure time they will be in front of the TV. As a result, after watching all these advertisements, they will go to the shopping mall. Theory will be in the television. Practical will be in the shopping mall. That point also is very important. Theory, where we can see the theory in TV, and practical will be in the shopping mall. Practical will be in the shopping mall. Okay, yes. Until a decade or two ago, we Indians were relatively unaffected by all these things. So our ancestors, they were not thinking about what in future this much development will come, and they were not using their money. They were not having money. At the same time, whatever they are getting, they were not ready to spend like this. Not any longer trendy. Brightly lit shopping centers overflowing with all kinds and goods and baubles. That means we can see different styles. If one shop is selling this one and next shop they will try to develop a little more than this one, and they will attract the people in a different style. So have sprouted up all over the country, different shopping malls, even in the smaller towns also. The key word now it is choice. Okay, it's very important. The key word now it is choice. So when we are going to purchase anything, which shop we will prefer? A small shop or a bigger shop, or the shop which has more choices? What we will tell? Here no collection is there. We will go to that shop because more collection and we can select. Okay, choice. Choice is the key word is choice. At last, say thrilled shoppers, we are beginning to get the kind of choice that people in the West have enjoyed for a long time. Nevertheless, the fascination with choice can be carried to ridiculous lengths. A young man, after his first visit to United States, once described to me his eyes popping out in admiration and wonder that in America they have 83 different flavors of ice cream to choose from. He was longing for something like that to happen in India. It looks as if his dream has come true today. At least for upper middle classes in India, the high consumption lifestyles of their first world counterparts is now well within reach, and they take like ducks to water. Luxury houses bursting at the seams with every imaginable material blessing are no longer rarities for everyone whose definitions of the good life are premised upon the abundance of material possessions. The times have never been better. So here students, fifth paragraph, the writer wants to tell choice become a key word. That means already I have told you. Then people will go to shops, and if we have choice is there, we will prefer. We can search and find out which one is more suitable for us. And one Indian, when he has visited America, he had witnessed there is 83 flavors of ice cream choice, and he wanted to this situation should come in our India. Nowadays that more than 83 flavors, I think it is available in India also. People have improved. world has improved, our country has improved, all these things. Why? These choice, okay, because of this choice. And what will happen? It is affecting especially for the upper middle class people. Upper middle class people. What is the difference between this upper middle class and rich people and poor people? Upper people means always they have money and they are getting all the facilities always. Poor people, they don't have money, that's why they are not using it. Upper middle class people, they should have the status. Okay, they won't be like poor and they are trying to like upper class people. So these upper class people, they became like ducks to water. Ducks to water. What is the meaning of ducks to water? Where is the current of the water? Where is the flow of the water? According to that current, these ducks also will move. Okay. So the same way, upper middle class people, what they will do? They will copy the life of the upper people and they are wasting their money on these things. If they are constructing any house, they will think, they will try to get all the available materials and they will think, my house should be different from others, right? Okay, yes. So these upper middle class people became like ducks to water. Okay. So today, okay students, next class we will see the remaining part of this lesson. Okay, bye.